So The Mandalorian Season 3 has just come to a close. If you haven't seen all the episodes yet, I'd probably recommend coming back to this review at a different stage because there will be spoilers. But I'm going to tell you what I liked and what I didn't like about this season and give a lovely little recap. So The Mandalorian. It is about a space bounty hunter set in the Star Wars universe played by Pedro Pascal. If you haven't heard about this yet, then maybe you should probably try and watch season 1 and 2 because they are absolutely amazing. But this is probably for the people that have tuned into the show before and have continued their journey on with season 3. So I really liked it, and I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be. Yeah, there was some low points, but I think the back half of the season, well, when I say back half, I mean the last 2 episodes, really tied everything up and made everything worthwhile, in my opinion. What I really liked about this season is that there was multiple Mandalorians shown. It wasn't just Din Djarin. I think that's something that a lot of people are annoyed about, that it wasn't just him. But in my opinion, I kind of liked how they showed the Mandalorian race as a whole. And yeah, I do wish that they had shown a bigger spotlight on Din Djarin, but you can't get everything. If they want to include the Mandalorians, they're going to have to flesh them out. And then that means that Din Djarin is kind of pushed to the side a little bit. But I think his redemption in the last 2 episodes was great. And it kind of made up for maybe the lack of character growth that he had in earlier episodes. I personally loved Bo-Katan in season 3. I thought her character growth and character arc was great, and to be honest, I like her as a character, and I liked seeing her with Mando and Grogu on their adventures, and I would absolutely love to see the 3 of them continue in the future together. The action in the last 2 episodes especially was phenomenal, but there is some points throughout the whole season that I really liked, and I think the action is great in this season as it has been in the past 2, but for some reason I thought the season 3 kind of kicked it up a little bit, and I liked that. The action felt more grand in scale, and I dug it. The Mandalorian has one of the best soundtracks that I've seen in the Star Wars universe. It is so catchy, and I'm just a massive fan of it. Now, some things that I didn't like was that this kind of felt at a lot of stages that it was just side quests being thrown in the face of the Mandalorian, and you know, I guess in the end they were all tied up. I think in the last episode everything is kind of tied together, but I think there are some parts that really could have been scrapped. The first thing that comes to my head was episode 3, I think it is, in Coruscant, and it goes with a New Republic officer for basically the entire episode, and I was so bored. I didn't like that episode. But I know a lot of fans from the prequel trilogy are going to love that because it goes back to Coruscant, so, you know, what can you do? But in the end, I think it was all tied up really well, and I really enjoyed tuning in every single week to watch it, to be honest. But overall, I just absolutely loved it, and I think this is going to be a spoiler, but I think in episode, I think it's either 5 or 6, when Moff Gideon gets teased again, and when we see him in episode 7, that really changed everything for me. His villain soundtrack was so good, and Giancarlo Esposito is such a good actor that he just owns the role of Moff Gideon, and I really hope he's not dead, because I hope that this continues on with his character coming back for more. His Beskar armor, everything about him, he was just such a badass, and I loved him, and I think that's what the show was lacking, an overall villain in the first half of it that was really testing Mando and Grogu and the rest of the Mandalorians. And I think overall, when he came back into the picture, that is when the show took off again. So yeah, as I said, I would give it 3.5 stars out of 5, and I really enjoyed it, and I had a great time, and I think it's setting up season 4 in a great way. So keep an eye out on my channel, because I'm going to do a special video where I rank all 8 episodes in order of my least favorite to my favorite. So that's going to be something new for me. So make sure you stay tuned for that very soon. And have you watched season 3 of The Mandalorian? If you have, let me know. If you haven't, do you plan to watch it, or have you never even watched any of the episodes before? I would highly recommend that you do watch it, because it's a great show with great soundtrack and a great world and a great cast of characters, and I think you'll really enjoy it, and season 3 is absolutely no different.